hérna á línunni Ann Pettifor. Ann Pettifor var í þættinum hjá mér í fyrra, síðasta ári að ræða. Hún sérfræðingur í skuldaskilum þeirra ríkja þriðja heimsins og reyndar fleiri. Ann Pettifor, hello.
Hello, hi, Egil.
How are you?
Morning.
You were here on the program last May, I remember. Now you have written, you are advocating a fair deal for Iceland. What is in your mind would be a fair deal for Iceland?
Well, first of all, I think what's really important is that the people of Iceland should have a say in this, because it is their finances and it's their future that is at stake here. So I think, to be fair, the creditors should deal with the debtor. And in this case, the debtor are the taxpayers of Iceland. And I think by ignoring the taxpayers of Iceland, the British and the Dutch governments are being very unfair. But for me, the really central issue is this, that number one, there is co-responsibility for this crisis. The responsibility rests with the Dutch and the British governments as much as it does with the Icelandic government. And therefore, the Dutch and the British governments are going to have to take what in the finance sector they call a haircut. They're going to have to make some losses, because they presided over a financial system which enabled this bank to operate, and to operate in a reckless way, I say, and to gamble away the funds of the Icelandic people. And having played that part in encouraging effectively through deregulation IceSave to behave in the way that it did, they must take some responsibility. And the second point I want to make is that, is this debt repayable? We know that throughout history, one of the most civilized aspects of our history is something that we call bankruptcy law. We learned long ago that you could not drive people into debtors' prisons. You couldn't starve them to death in order to make them pay their debts, because ultimately, if you were the creditor and they did starve to death, you didn't get your money back. Furthermore, we learned back in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries that what was really important was not so much as to get every last penny back from a debtor, but to enable the debtor to once more re-enter the economy and participate in the economy and to be productive within the economy. That's why we have this civilized thing, this civilized law, which prevents creditors, if you like, from driving the debtor into a state of bankruptcy or hopelessness. Now, as far as I can see, if the British and the Dutch governments are going to reclaim their share of the funds, they are going to impoverish an awful lot of Icelandic people, because they're asking for something like 50% of Iceland's shrunken, smaller GDP since the crisis. And if you had to translate that, as Martin Wolf has done from the Financial Times, into what the equivalent amount would be here in Britain, it would be like asking the British people to pay £700 billion to refund depositors in the foreign branches of a bankrupt British bank. And I can assure you that the British people would not be willing to cough up that sort of money to bail out depositors in foreign branches of a bankrupt British bank.
Just very shortly, do you think that the British government will take notice? We have there seems to be a sort of change of attitude in the British media. Do you think the British government will take notice of this?
I think so. I think the arguments have to be made. I think the British government has to be made aware of opinion. This matter, because it's to do with Iceland and because it's a single bank, has more or less moved off the agenda. If we are to get the British government, which is after all a democratic government, to reconsider, then we need to put it back onto the political agenda. And that's what people like myself and what others are doing by objecting to this in the media, to this deal that is being proposed. So I can't tell you whether or not the British government will bend, but I can tell you that there are some very powerful voices here in Britain arguing that the British government has co-responsibility for this crisis and therefore it should moderate its claims on the people of Iceland.
Thank you, Ann Pettifor. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.